we will continue to respect the rights and sovereignty of other nations. But we must be equally clear that we will not be bullied by any other country in the world.
President Cyril Ramaphosa made the remarks during the State of the Union address in Parliament on Thursday. And this comes about due to the tension between South Africa and its international allies, especially the US and Israel. The latest part was when, during the G20 conference, where President Trump refused to attend the conference in South Africa and even said that South African delegation will not be allowed during the US leg of the same conference. And this can be attributed to the South African leaning towards the BRICS, where the Russians and China are mostly involved, considering the latter are US nemesis. The other issue that is causing tension between the US and South Africa is the land reform policy in South Africa that entails taking away land from the white owners to black original owners without compensation. It is a policy that it's agreed between the people and there seems no problem with it until Trump comes into it, saying that the South African government is committing a white genocide against the white land owners by taking away land by force from them, massacring them, and rendering them destitute, something the government is not doing. On the other issue of policy, it's about the South African government taking the government of Israel to The Hague and having it prosecuted for genocide in Gaza, something that the international community agrees should be done. Nevertheless, Israel being an ally of the US have to come to its rescue and in doing so punish South Africa for persecuting its main ally in the Middle East. Well, Cyril Ramaphosa says that the country has to maintain its sovereignty and freedom, and even insists that the freedom of South Africa cannot be guaranteed unless there is freedom in Palestine, there's freedom in Sudan, in Cuba, and in Western Sahara.
We cannot consider ourselves free as long as the people of Palestine, of Cuba, of Sudan, and Western Sahara, and elsewhere suffer occupation, oppression, and war.
Nevertheless, South Africa has withdrawn its troops from the DRC under MONUSCO. The claim is that South Africa wants to consolidate its defense forces to guard its national borders and national security. Well, we know there was a spat between South Africa and Rwanda, where South Africa accused the Rwanda of supporting the M23 rebels who are being fought in the DRC by the allied MONUSCO forces. At the same time, Rwanda accused South Africa of being a belligerent force instead of a peacekeeping force, and even threatening declared war against South Africa. And this part led to the nations, or rather the people of South Africa, saying that the troops of South Africa should be removed from that area since they were not getting any local support at home. And since some of the troops lost their lives in the war, the people of South Africa declared that their troops should not be endangering their lives in the DRC, were risking to be killed by M23 rebels and not being able to bring about the much needed security. That is all. Kindly like and subscribe this channel.